everyone, so happy Easter first of all. I hope it is actually Easter when I upload this and I haven't just really embarrassed myself in this intro, but happy Easter nonetheless. I hope you're all sitting there watching this video and gorging yourself on chocolate, because I no doubt will be doing that as well. Today I have a favourites for you. This is going to be all my favourite beauty products from the month of March, and I wanted to get this done a little bit earlier than usual because next week is going to be drugstore week, and I know I announced that I was going to be doing this a while ago, but it's finally going to be up and it will be next week. So there's going to be a ton of videos all about drugstore makeup, budget things, my favourites, a few tutorials in there as well, so stay tuned for that. I'm sorry that it's going to be a little later than I told you and that I planned for, but there are a few things going on at the moment, so next week is the week for drugstore. So I feel like this month I have found so many new and exciting things, and I've been really into quite a lot of different products. So I'm going to dive straight in and start with makeup, and this one here is probably my favourite of the month. I am so into this, and it's from Morphe. I haven't really tried a lot of Morphe's makeup, but I have a few of their brushes, but I saw they had some eyeshadow palettes and I really wanted to give them a go, and this is the 12 NB palette, which I think is the 12 Natural Beauty palette. And this palette, first of all, this palette is £11. I mean, that is just incredible. That is such a reasonable price for the quality and the amount of shadows that you actually get in there. The packaging isn't amazing, it's just a plastic compact, although I feel like it's pretty sturdy and pretty durable, but what you get for the price is just so good. I'm just shocked at how reasonably priced this palette is. They're really well pigmented, so you don't need to really load up your brush and really work into it. They glide on really nicely and the colours come out really well. They're probably a little bit chalkier than some eyeshadows that I have. If you compare them to something like the Urban Decay Naked palettes, they're not quite as smooth and as buttery, but I really do enjoy using them. They work on really nicely. I found myself reaching for this palette every single day this month. It's just such a great palette. It's really small and compact as well, so great for travelling. The one thing that I would change if I could is to add a mirror to it, because a palette without a mirror is just a bit of a pain, but apart from that, everything about this I love. So you might remember in last month's favourites I was talking about the Perricone MD No Blush Blush and how much I was in love with that, and a lot of you guys mentioned in the comments that they also do a really great bronzer, so of course I listened to you like I always do and went out and bought that too. I'm really quite a big fan of cream bronzers. I think they just work in so beautifully and they always look a lot more natural than powders, so if you have just the extra minute or so to sit there and use a cream product for a bronzer, it's really worth it. And this really is quite similar to the formula of the blush. It's got a very sheer, very blendable consistency, so you can really build this up and make it quite intense, and you can also really sheer it out so it looks very natural, so very versatile depending on how you like your bronzer. It comes with a little pipette dropper so you can blend it into foundation, you can put this into your moisturiser and just give yourself a bit of a tint. There is so many things you could do with this, so I'm so converted to this. I feel like now I just need to go and try the rest of the no makeup range. They have the foundation, they have a new highlighter actually, which I'm really looking at and wanting to buy, and a few more other things that I've just heard really good things about, so I couldn't recommend this range enough. I think it's brilliant. And then a lip favourite that I've had this month, which I'm actually wearing on my lips today. I've had a real moment for nudes at the moment. I'm definitely a bright and bold lip girl at heart, but recently I've just been reaching for nude lipsticks and something a bit more subtle, and this has become one of my favourites. I actually bought this a really long time ago. It's from by Terry. It's one of their Terrybly Velvet Rouge liquid lipsticks. This is a very different liquid lipstick. It's really not like the ones I'm used to. It has a really beautiful applicator actually. It's kind of like an hourglass shape, which is really different, but it makes for a really nice application. And this one doesn't actually dry down to a matte finish. It definitely does set after a few minutes, but it kind of goes to more of a satin sheeny finish, which at first wasn't something that I kind of liked. I feel like I associate liquid lipsticks with a very matte finish, but actually it's really beautiful, and I think this colour in particular, which is shade number 1, Lady Bear, just works so well with the formula that it has. So this has been in my handbag, this has been going everywhere with me, and I just love it for a kind of everyday nude colour. It's a lot more kind of nude than I would usually go for, but I've been really into that, so this one I love. And there are a lot of colours in this range. I'm not sure though that I would like any of the more bright shades, just because I feel like if it is going to be be a more glossy formula that may not look as nice in a red or a really deep burgundy, but I think for the nude shades this is just a great range. I've also actually been pairing that with a little bit of MAC's Boldly Bare lip pencil, and I feel like I've mentioned this in a favourites before, but it always gets pulled out when I'm wearing a nude lipstick. It's just such a nice kind of warming nude lip pencil, and MAC lip pencils we know are just amazing, so quick mention to that one as well. I feel like for someone that doesn't really get on with foundation, I've discovered so many new ones recently that I've been loving. So last month the Marc Jacobs one was in my favourites, and this month I have one from Clinique, and this isn't actually a new discovery but more of a rediscovery. This was actually the first high-end foundation that I actually bought many years ago. I think I was probably about 16 or 17. I got into makeup quite late, so this was the first thing I bought. I remember going to the Clinique counter and getting matched up to a colour, and recently I got it again, and I remember now how much I loved this. So it's the Superbalanced makeup, and it's actually a really interesting formula. It's designed for all skin types, so if you're oily or if you're dry you can use this. It balances out oily patches by absorbing excess shine, and it also moisturises the dry patches, so no matter what skin type you have you can use this one. Once it's blended on, it feels so lightweight and really breathable, but it actually has great coverage as well. It's not quite a full coverage foundation, but it definitely has something in the mid-range. So I really love this as an everyday foundation. I've been wearing it pretty much every single day this month, and I'm really happy that I rediscovered it, which just kind of goes to show that I've wasted about 5 or 6 years of my life now trying to find a perfect foundation when I had it right the first time. So that is Clinique's Superbalanced foundation. So I wanted to do a quick shout out to the nail polish that I've been wearing on my nails this month. It's actually been the same colour all month. You've probably noticed that in all my videos. And this is just a regular nail polish. I haven't taken this off once. This is the original coat that I applied probably at the very beginning of the month, so I'm not quite sure how I managed that. But the actual colour that I'm wearing is Tom Ford's Mink Brulee, and I've mentioned this in a few videos recently, but I've still been getting so many questions on it. I feel like I had to just pop it up in a favourites, and I'm so in love with these Tom Ford nail polishes. I think they're amazing. I mean, the proof is just really in how long I've been wearing this and how long it's lasted, but also the formula is really creamy, really pigmented. These things are expensive. I mean, with any Tom Ford products they're going to be a high price point, but I think for the fact how amazing this has lasted, it's just so worth it. The colours as well are really beautiful. They're all very classic shades, but I feel like they're very different to anything I've seen in other ranges, so Tom Ford nail polish is definitely worth checking out. So this month I only have one single skincare product to show you, and unfortunately it's not even out yet, so I do feel like I'm teasing you a little bit with this. So this is from Clarins, and it's the Energy Booster. They've actually put out 3 of these, so for 3 different concerns. There's the energy one, which is my favourite of the 3, and there's also a detox and a repair, and what they are is basically these little droppers, and they're all designed to be mixed in with your everyday moisturiser. So you put a little bit in your hand and then basically drop 3 or 4 drops of this in and kind of mix it around and then put it on as you would normally do. So if you're looking for a bit of a boost in your skincare and you have a particular concern, these are great. So for me, energy is always my #1 priority. I don't get enough sleep, especially with a brand new puppy at the moment. My skin always looks really tired and a bit dull at times, so this just really helps to combat all of that. The main ingredient in this one is ginseng, and I've used quite a few products in the past with that in, and they do definitely really wake your skin up. So a few drops of this in my morning moisturiser just kind of boosts everything. I look like I have a bit more of a glow and like I've had a little bit more sleep than I actually have managed to get away with. It also has a very kind of tightening, firming effect to it, which I love. I'm all about the firming skincare products at the moment, so this has been a staple in my routine. I love it. I honestly couldn't go a day without dropping these into my moisturiser, and I think it's just a really cool idea because you don't have to add another layer of skincare and another product. You can kind of just mix this in with your existing products, so I really like this. At the beginning of the month I actually went to the hairdressers, as you probably will have noticed, and I went a lot lighter. I had some highlights put in and I just went a little bit more blonde. By the way, as well, if you're wondering, I haven't cut my hair off, I've just tucked it into this jumper. So obviously, me being me, whenever I'm at my hairdressers, I really can't resist the very tempting wall of products, and I always manage to buy something from it, and this visit was no exception. So I picked up a new hair care combo. This is a shampoo and conditioner duo from Kérestase. It's the Elixir Ultime range, and I do have the oil that goes along with this, so I've been using that for a while. Really like that, and then decided to get the shampoo and conditioner. I do like to kind of mix and match with my shampoos, so So obviously, as I am a bit more ashy and blonde now, I've been using a purple based shampoo, but I will alternate it with something a bit more moisturising because my hair is a bit damaged now that it's been bleached and bleached over and over again. So I tend to kind of wash my hair with a purple shampoo and then a moisturising one and just go between the two. And this has been my moisturising one of choice this month. I do find that I always seem to get on with oil based shampoos. I'm a real advocate of oils in skincare and hair care and just beauty in general, so I generally tend to really like a product if it's infused with oil. And although they are very moisturising and they get really deep down into my hair, I feel they don't really feel heavy and they definitely don't weigh it down. I do struggle a lot with volume and my hair just generally being quite flat to my head, and these don't really do that at all. They don't kind of interfere with any of my natural weightlessness and bounce, not that I generally tend to have much of that. They're just kind of quite complementary to my hair type. They make it feel really good, really soft as well. I can just use these and then blow dry it and not have to put any additional products in, and it just feels really smooth. So I feel like these have just been giving my hair the kind of moisture and the big drink that it needs now that it's a bit more damaged and a bit more dry. And my hair feels pretty good considering it's been bleached quite a few times. I feel like it's not doing too bad and it's still quite shiny. I definitely put down the shine to these products, keeping it very glossy and nice and sheeny looking. So I'm really impressed by these this month. So those are all the favourites that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching that. As always, let me know what your favourites were as well. If you have any recommendations for me, obviously I do read all my comments and I do purchase things that you tell me to. So that is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget as well to tune in next week for Drugstore Week. I will leave a little button on the screen now so you can subscribe if you haven't done already, and all those videos will come up in your subscription box. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if sub boxes are working this week, because they never do. They never do. So I will see you all then. Bye!